Hello, beautiful people. I hope that you're all doing so well. I hope that you are thriving. I hope that you are taking care of yourself. And I hope that you've had a beautiful start to your week. I know a lot of people in my personal life are going back to work this week. And so I just really hope that your 2024 work life starts off on a positive high note and that energy carries throughout the rest of the year. If you didn't know what you were listening to or where you are here at the Doing Life with Love and Magic podcast. I'm your host, Ndwenhle, and this is the space whereby I like to chat shit, where I like to share my life perspective as I navigate through my 20s, because the 20s is a very interesting time for growth, for learning, to do all of the things, to fall on your face and pick yourself back up and reconstruct yourself completely. And so I just want to share my learnings, my perspectives, observations, things that I like, things that I don't like as I go on this journey. And if that benefits you in any sort of way, then I've done my job and I feel great about that. So yeah, happy Monday. I'm literally starting to lose track of the days, honestly. It's my last week of my leave before I go back to work next week. And positive note, my mom told me yesterday that apparently we're going on a little family vacay situation, which I was not expecting. But I think it's quite a lovely way to close off the holidays and just to spend some time away from home. Because I feel like for the most part, I have been at home these holidays, just like sleeping. And I think it is greatly contributing to me feeling a little bit stir crazy, honestly, as much as work tends to stress me out sometimes. Like being at home for like a consecutive amount of days has been causing me to really face some of some fears and thoughts that have been cropping up over the past couple of days. And I wasn't really planning on doing this episode, but this morning I was just having a moment of feeling very anxious, just around relationships and a little bit about going back to work and how I feel and all of that stuff. And I just have come to this realization that I have a little bit of a phobia of experiencing some of the emotions that I was experiencing last year before things sort of calmed down and I felt a little bit better. And please do not mind me, I've just come from gym and I'm having this delicious smoothie. I don't want it to completely melt, but I have a lot of fear around feeling those feelings that I was feeling last year. Hence why I feel like I don't know, I need this year to be better. I want it to be better. I want to win in certain aspects of my life. And I feel like that want and that need to win and see some sort of success happen in line with what I have in mind for myself, I think that has been causing me some anxiety. And then when I feel things were going in a particular way a few weeks ago and then now they're not going in that way anymore, it just freaks me out and it psychs me out. And this morning, because these days anxiety tends to wake me up a little bit and makes me panic, and I have to kind of talk myself down and get myself to breathe and calm down and just remind myself of the facts. And so anyway, this morning I was having another one of those moments, and a big thing that came to my mind is I need to talk to my therapist about this, because it's only ever happened to me twice, I feel. And I don't quite understand it. And I am aware of what is triggering it to come up, but in terms of how to deal with it and how to work through it, I just feel I need some sort of guide and some sort of tools and tips and tricks to help me understand it a lot more. And I feel like that is a step in the right direction, because before I would let this fear kind of rule me and this feeling take over completely. And today I kind of just surrendered to it. I was okay, I'm feeling this feeling of anxiety. Like, let it have its moment. Let me observe it and appreciate it for what it is right now. And let me be a little bit more conscious about, like, what's actually causing it. Like, what's the root cause of this thing? Like, what activities or non-activities have contributed to me feeling this way? And I found that it really helped me get a better sense of what triggers me. And today, I kind of just wanted to come on here and just let you know that emotions such as anxiety and loneliness and essentially feelings that we might perceive as bad feelings aren't always like a bad thing. I feel like they can provide a lot of insight into like who you are as a person and the things that you value. And I feel like in moments when you feel those emotions, you need to work with them and go through them in order to have them guide you in the right direction. If you're feeling anxiety from being in some sort of a situationship, that should tell you that you value having a committed relationship that is stable more so than you do like having fun. And you shouldn't like fool yourself into thinking that having fun and having it be a once-off thing is your thing because everyone and their mamas in a situationship. Like, use your emotions as a guide. Don't let them necessarily make decisions about a particular situation, but use them as a guide to understand yourself a little bit more and what you value as a human being. And that's like a lesson that I've come to learn as I kind of close out my cycle. Yesterday I came on and I spoke to you about this app called The Pattern that I've just really enjoyed using to kind of understand what's been going on in my atmosphere, I like to call it. And today I just closed out a 9-month cycle of being encouraged to be happy on my own and find happiness within and not necessarily be codependent and all of that good stuff. And I feel like I really have been in that zone of like really trying to understand myself a lot more and like calm myself down when I get in these sorts of like freak out panic stages, because like life goes on at the end of the day and we have to find a way to work with these types of emotions when they do crop up. And I just feel like it's important for us to know that. And I think also a reason why I feel this way is because I listened to a very interesting like YouTube video from like a creator that I followed for a hot minute. Like, I went through a stage whereby I was like obsessed with tarot card readings. Like, I loved the shit out of them. I would listen to a tarot card reading every single day. Because, like, I mean, it's nice to hear that nice things are going to happen to you all the time. And also, they just, like, calmed me down a little bit. And every now and again, I do enjoy myself, like, a little bit of, like, a listening, you know, sometimes. But, like, as of recently, I've tried to stay away from them because I just find that I just get too, like, hopeful. And then when the things don't happen, it makes me feel upset. So, yeah, for now, I don't really listen to them like that much. But anyway, there's this beautiful, beautiful lady called Vanessa Samina who I used to watch like that. And I used to like watch all her readings and all that before bed, all of that good stuff. And so she's kind of just branched out recently into giving, well, not recently, I think maybe she has done a video or two before, but I just didn't catch it. But this one I saw like a couple of times and I was like, okay, maybe I will listen to it, maybe I won't listen to it. And today I just felt compelled to listen to it because obviously I had my little bit of a freak out moment this morning and I just needed something like soft and soothing to listen to kind of get me on my day. And if there's anything that I know, it's that Miss Samina is very like poised and she's very like calm and she's got this like soothing voice and she speaks like this and she's so proper and she's so beautiful. And so I was like, let me just put this on and listen to it. So basically, as I was carrying on and getting ready to go to the gym, she was just talking about how she's gone through a season of embracing, well, not necessarily embracing, but changing her perspective on loneliness. And she's kind of flipped it from being lonely into solitude, because she's gone through a period of a bad breakup, and she's kind of been getting reacquainted with herself, in the sense of just, I guess, enjoying her own company and finding new fun things to do, and really appreciating being in her own space, and kind of just building up that confidence and fortitude, so that when someone comes along, like, you're built on a solid structure and a foundation, and no one can just come in and fuck around and mess that all up, and then you crumbled, and then you have to start from the beginning almost. So I think what I just really enjoyed about listening to her speak on that subject matter, and I'll link it in the notes and all of that stuff, but what I really enjoyed about that was just the reminder that you are, first and foremost, loyal to yourself. And when you're going through a period whereby you are feelings of loneliness or whatever, it's so important to do things that make you feel happy and make you feel like a person once again, because at the end of the day, it's you that's on this planet who is going to be going out there and achieving your goals and doing your thing, and it's no one else really. And the beautiful thing that she said is that, if you want to get a snatched body, for example, no one is going to do the exercise for you. You have to do it. In a similar token, if you're trying to get a better control over your emotions and understand your emotions, no one is going to do that for you. You have to make a conscious effort to sit down and understand those emotions and get in control of them. Otherwise, they will control you, and you'll feel so crippled by them that it's going to be hard for you to do anything. It's going to be hard for you to trust. And my biggest thing going into the latter half of my 20s is to just really get a grip of how I feel, and feel in control of my emotions, and not let them rule me. Because I feel like it's been far too long whereby I've just let them take the lead and make decisions for me, and ascertain certain outcomes from certain situations that I haven't made the effort to go out and get clarity on. And so I just think that this is a season of really working with my emotions and not trying to fight them. If I feel some type of way about something, I'm going to use that as a clue to basically look within and try and understand what is going on within my internal atmosphere. What is it that I need to work on? Do I feel upset when somebody doesn't act in this accordance because I'm not telling myself something? Or is it something about do I need to affirm certain things more? Or do I need to work on being more communicative about my boundaries towards certain people because I can perceive that a particular behavior keeps happening? All of that stuff. I think this year should be a year whereby you don't feel like you're fighting yourself at all. There's so many things that are happening externally. The best thing that you can do for yourself is to ascertain some sort of internal harmony, so that you're able to face the challenges of the outside world. And the only way you can do that is by working with yourself and giving yourself grace and listening to your emotions and giving them a moment to shine, and feeling them, even when it feels scary, even when it feels like you don't quite know how to work through them. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's weird that I feel this way, because it feels like these are feelings that, I don't know, are meant to be happening. I throughout the year, like I usually feel like very emotional around like the middle of the year, as you start. But like the year just started and I still feel this like heaviness in a sense, and this like sadness and this anxiety. But I feel like it's the perfect time to kind of bring awareness to these emotions and work through them before I go back into work and before I start, because I just genuinely want to start off the new working year feeling slightly at peace at the very least. And just taking it from there, quite honestly. So that's kind of like my message for today. It's just work with yourself and work with your emotions. And honestly, if you're feeling some type of way about something, like I also got reminded about this listening to Vanessa speak, but if you're feeling some type of way about something, particularly a person, like it's just so important to reground yourself in the things that you love. And I've been saying this since last year, and I'm going to say it again because I'm going to keep saying it until we get it and until it becomes like a common practice almost, is reground yourself in the things that make you, the things that excite you, the things that light you up. Try new things if you have to. Like anything to take, especially if it's a relationship type of thing, anything to kind of take that person off the pedestal and redirect the focus onto you. Because at the end of the day, it's about grounding yourself in who you are and building yourself up so that no one can shake you. It's all about building solid foundations, and that takes some time. We're not always going to get it right the first try, the second try, third try, but as long as if we are making a conscious effort to come back to ourselves and focus on the things that give us life and focus on us being, the shining light rather than a relationship or a thing or whatever. And I think it relates back to so many other aspects. It doesn't have to just be a relationship, but like it can be money, it can be like having a particular house or whatever. Like when we are in the pursuit of those particular things, I think we tend to base our value and our happiness a lot on having those things in our lives. And the most important thing that I've learned about manifestation and working with the universe and all of that stuff is that you have to establish some sort of happiness without having those things. Yes, you can want them, and it's okay to want them. It's literally okay. It goes to show that you are worthy and deserving of those things. But ultimately, in order to manifest a particular area of your life or a particular thing, you have to be so happy with what you have at this moment in time, and you have to be happy with the knowledge that, okay, maybe I won't get it. And if that thing breaks you, if you don't get it, then that might be a little bit of a problem. But ultimately, you have to find ways of being at peace with not having it. And that's how things happen in your life. That's how you attract certain things. When you are just so focused on raising your own vibration and living your life and just having a good old time without that particular thing, that's when everything comes into play. So that's kind of the message that I've got for you on that particular aspect. There was something else that had come to mind, but I genuinely can't even put a finger on it. But for the next couple of weeks and until the end of the month, I think that's going to be what I'm going to try and focus on, is to bring the attention back to me and the things that I like and the things that make me feel happy, and to just center myself outside of other elements. I think I got really excited about the prospect of potentially being in a romantic relationship, because there's been a lot that's been happening on that front, that I've started to make myself panic when it started to look like that thing wasn't actually happening for me anymore. Like when you start to observe people behaving a little bit differently. And it's hard because I feel like, and I saw a TikTok about this the other day, and this one lady, I don't even know what her name is. I think she was just like this lady that popped up. She was just basically saying how she is so tired of seeing content around men and standing on business, and you should do this and you should do that, and you should behave this way and you should behave that way. And I think my anxiety is spiking because of that, because I just see so much content and engage in so many conversations where it's like, if this person doesn't do this, then they don't do that. If this person doesn't do this, then they don't do that. Like, so much so that it's made me start to question like certain things, and it starts to plant seeds of doubt, whereas before I was very comfortable and happy, like trusting in my own voice and understanding a certain situation through my lens, and this constant noise that I keep receiving from people, from social media, from everything, has really made me feel like off balanced a little bit. And I think that's why I'm so anxious, because I'm like, it should be, all of that stuff. And I think in a way that's why I've kind of like pulled back in some aspects of my life. Like, it's why I've pulled back in friendships. Sometimes I just find myself needing to be in my own space and to just not contribute as much and not to absorb as much, because I'm just not the alarm's going off. I'm just so tired of absorbing other people's shit and like having it as my own, and suddenly I can't differentiate between what I've seen on social versus what's actually truly my own thoughts. And yeah, that's kind of like where my headspace is at this moment in time. I haven't been on TikTok in a couple of days. And I just honestly feel like let me just try wrap this up, because clearly it's time for me to leave if the alarms are going off. But I just encourage you to take some time to really, like I said in yesterday's episode, focus in on your intuition. Like, really listen to your own voice and just stop absorbing everyone else's shit. That is my message for today. Trust your intuition and work with your emotions. Don't use them as as a decision, almost. Like, just use them as a guide almost. And yeah, take care of yourself. Do the things that make you feel happy. I'm gonna bounce because it's a little bit loud now, but I really appreciate you spending some time with me. Just a reminder for you, just to close off. Just a reminder before we close off, like, you are loved. You are an amazing human being. Anyone would be so lucky to have you in their life, and you are incredible. You are special, you are talented, and you are worthy and deserving of achieving all of your goals. And yeah, that's it. Lots of love, lots of appreciation. I'll chat with you later, and bye.